Hello and welcome to another Lost Ski Area Tour. I'm Avery Zucco, and this time we're checking out Highmount, New York in the Catskills. Highmount was opened by Francis and Maurice Davenport in 1947. The area closed in 1993. You can get one of the older areas that I've visited. It's right next to Bel Air Ski Area on Bel Air Mountain in the middle of the Catskills in New York. And you can actually pretty much see the top of Highmount from the trails on Bel Air, whatever that one long out and back trail is on the very west side of Bel Air. I can't remember what the name of it is. But right there at the corner, you can see into the top of Highmount. But it's been abandoned since 1993. Well, its last season was 1993. And it's been abandoned since then. And it's like they got up and walked away. This is the ski rental shop. And all the buildings are in a real advanced state of decay here, but just look at what they left behind. All the boots are here. And there's flyers and ephemera about. It's a real sad state of affairs. This is all that's left of the ski maintenance shop, the ski workbench area. What's the word I'm looking for? Repair shop. And since it's closed, there's been talk about it reopening as part of Bel Air Mountain, part of a larger development to expand Bel Air ski area, and none of that has happened so far. We got the yellow pages here from whatever 1993, 1991. An old electric typewriter. And I don't know if they'll ever reopen Highmount. Of course, if they do, all this will go. Because there isn't much left of the old ski area that you could salvage. Which is a real shame. This is all the stuff for fitting people who are getting rentals. I think this is the only rental shop that I've been in, the only base area that I've been in that had this much stuff left behind. Tuxedo Ridge, which is also in New York, but it's not in the Catskills, it's further south, had probably a lot of stuff left in it. I never went into any of the buildings. That closed not that long ago. This has just been sitting here since 1993. Maintenance buildings and ski patrol are out there on the left. And this was the lodge. Maybe the cafeteria. I don't know what was going on in here. At some point after they closed, the floor is also collapsing, but at some point after they closed, they stored what looks like carnival stuff in here. I'm not sure what that was from, if that was from the ski resort or something unrelated. Royal Crown Cola, which I'm not familiar with. I don't know if that was a New York thing or what. Never seen Royal Crown Cola before. Reminds me a little bit of the old Apple Hill Lodge. Downstairs there were locker rooms. I couldn't explore down here. Not only did I not have a light, but the entire bottom floor of the lodge, which is essentially the basement. The one side of the lodge, the basement exits at the ground level, but the other side is under the ground level, and water has intruded down there. So it is ankle deep muck, and I couldn't really walk around down there. I tried a little bit, but I didn't get very far. On the other side here was where the ticket counter was. No binding. I'm just amazed that all this stuff is still here. Which is interesting. A lot of times they would auction all this stuff off, and they never did. I'm not sure why. When they closed in the early 90s, nothing got auctioned off. Maybe some of the snowmaking equipment got auctioned off, but the contents of the lodge certainly didn't. The rentals, that sort of stuff didn't. Usually that would go. It's hard to see in here. I don't know if I show it or not, but even the computers are the computers that were on the cash register. Those are all still there. Something that I figure they would have sold off, auctioned off the contents when the place closed, but that never happened. Lessons, anybody? Yeah, it's all poison ivy. Open house Sunday, ski center, some old signage. It's a pretty small base area. Now, all the parking was on the other side of the road, and actually there was a beginner area, I think with either a T-bar or a rope tow, on the other side of the road. So the area was kind of split in two. Well, this is walking, well, looker's right from the bottom, so heading west. There were 3 main lifts here at Highmount. I'm only looking at 2 of them. The double chair, which is I guess the most interesting thing, was I didn't actually get to it. I didn't do my research before I came up here, and I saw the two T-bars, and I thought, oh, I guess that was all the lifts that they had. But they had a double chair. That was their summit double chair, which is further past where I'm walking here. I guess you can kind of see as the trail would go back there to the right, you would get to the bottom of the double chair. And this is one of the 2 T-bars. All the hangers are still attached. And I'm not sure on the make of this one. It may be a haul, I'm not sure. I don't believe I got a look at the towers on this T-bar. I think I might have gotten a look at the towers on the other T-bar. The tow line is totally grown in. No maintenance has been done on the trails since the area closed. They do mow the base area a little bit here, but that's it. And so people did ski from Bel Air into Highmount and ski down the trails after it closed. But as those trails have grown in, that's gotten increasingly difficult. I don't know if anybody still poaches lines, you know, when it snows through Highmount. I don't know if it's still doable. Maybe people still do it. I've never done it, so I can't speak to that. This looks like racing stuff. Lots of gates, slalom gates in here. Could have been ski patrol. It may have just been a little building for the race team. Some Peugeot gates. Yeah, it sort of reminds me of Tuxedo Ridge. All that stuff was still behind there, but this is just, you know, much older. And Highmount suffered really the same way that Cortina Valley did, and they closed around the same time. Cortina Valley lasted a few more years. I was just telling you what the flags mean and everything like that. Hey, they got some Miller Lite flags too. And that Highmount and Cortina Valley were about the same size. They were these mid-sized Catskills resorts, which just weren't competitive for very long. By the time you got to the 90s, Hunter and Bel Air were just so much larger that they just weren't financially able to make it. They weren't getting the business that they needed to stay open and keep up with capital investments, snowmaking upgrades, chairlift upgrades, that sort of thing. So these little mid-sized resorts, they all closed. This is going down the other side of the lodge now, actually, so we're on the east. I'm not trying to think about it. We're on the east side now of the resort. Gotta make sure I'm thinking of that right, because the resort faces north, so we're heading, yeah, east, back towards Bel Air. So on this side of the mountain, where the other T-bar is. And you can see how overgrown the trails are getting. This one isn't even so bad, it's just weeds. The trees are starting to creep in. And the base area is a little bit more clear. You'll see when we look up the trails how filled in it gets. Electrical hookups for snowmaking. They did have snowmaking here. Another one of the interesting things about this mountain, I mean, you can see how grown in the tow line is. This is the other T-bar, and I'm pretty sure looking at that tower that this is a Hall T-bar. And the chair's still there and everything. I'm not familiar with this kind of bull wheel, though. This doesn't look like a Hall bull wheel to me. The tower kind of looks like a Hall tower. And all the controls is long decayed. Oh, I love that on-off switch, that big Frankenstein-style on-off switch. And this was a really old area. I mean, 1947 was their first year. But work on this ski area. Oh, you know what? That's not a Hall tower. That is maybe a Poma tower. I'm not sure. The work on this ski area started, I believe, before World War II or during World War II, like 1942 or 1941. But it was a ski area that was built for a different time. And in that time, it made a lot of people very happy to ski here. But Highmount, New York, no more. Maybe one day it'll come back, but well, until then, we have these memories. Hope you enjoyed that tour, and I'll see you next time.